Air National Guard. So what prompted you guys to move from Toronto to Austin?
Oh, 04.
No, what prompted you?
Oh, sorry. My dad worked for Dell Canada, and they hit a point where it was like, well, we can either let you go, or you can move down to Round Rock, Texas, and work for
Ladies and
Dell
gentlemen,
headquarters.
tonight's match will be officiated by referee Emilio Arregui, assistant referee Mark Nosimo, and William Asami. The fourth official is Killian Richardson.
It's kind of funny though, I'm from Canada. All of my siblings were born in Canada. Both of my parents are not actually natural-born Canadians.
Oh, really? Where they're from?
My mom is
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are tonight's starters for the visitors, OKC Energy.
And my dad's British.
Introducing to you first,
He was from
the
York.
goalkeeper, number 1,
Oh,
Cody
you wouldn't know if you ever
Boynton.
talked to him. He has no accent whatsoever.
Defender, number 2, Mike DeFont.
Oh, it's the opposing team.
Defender, number 4,
I mean, you
Callum
clap a little for him.
Ross.
Be like, hey, nice to meet you.
Midfielder, number 7, Rafael Garcia. The forward, number 9, Deshaun Brown.
No.
Forward, number 10, Alexi Bussetti.
He transferred out of
Defender,
that
number
fairly
15,
recently, actually.
Atiba Harris.
He works in a similar
Forward,
job,
number
but he
17,
works for a different
Cordell
company now.
Cato.
How long was he with Dell?
Defender, number 55, Nikhil Williams. Defender, number 61, Alvin Jones. And the forward, number 91, Omar Gordon. And the head coach for the
So I knew,
OKC
a number
Energy,
of guys that worked with
Steve
them back like
Cook.
in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And of course, they were at the benefit of all the stock options and things like that. I gotta turn my camera on, make sure it's all working.
Yeah, they're starting to talk to me too now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time to get on your feet and welcome your starting 11 for your Austin Bowl. Introducing to you first, wearing the captain's armband, the forward at number 9, Clubber. The goalkeeper, number 1, Juan Daniel Ramirez. Midfielder, number 8, Javier Baez. Defender, number 18, Fabian Garcia. Midfielder, number 33, Sonny Guadarrama. The forward, number 11, Promise Harris. The forward, number 99, Andre Lima. Defender, number 17, Sean McFarland. Midfielder, number 15, Amobi Akugo. Defender, number 12, Tamar Phillips. And defender, number 4, Jermaine Taylor. And the head coach for your Austin Bowl FC, Marcelo Serrano. Welcome to the pitch for tonight's match. The OKC Energy and your Austin Bowl FC.
We're getting an early start on the weekend in the USL Championship. First ever meeting between the Austin Bold and the OKC Energy, as the Energy make the trip south of the Red River to square off with the new side in the USL Championship. Lincoln Rose, Kip McConico with you. We take a look at the table as ultimately the Energy happy pleased with their recent form, where they are in the top 5. The cutoff, of course, they would be in the playoffs today. Austin, with that own goal the other night, they slip outside the playoff hunt, but valuable points on the road in a very congested Western Conference. Again, welcome to Bold Stadium, everyone. 90 minutes coming your way here soon enough. And Kit, we talk about these two teams. Oklahoma City comes in with all the momentum, including a recent victory against Tacoma. Austin trying to bounce back here at home where they're unbeaten.
That's exactly right. You have two teams, very different. Oklahoma City, high-flying offense. Austin, a great defense. We'll see who comes up victorious.
Take a look at your keys to the matchup for the visitors from the Sooner State.
First, momentum, unbeaten their last 3 matches. They've all been in the state of Oklahoma, and you saw them 4th in the Western Conference standing. Road Warriors, as good as they've been, they're only 1-2-2 on the road, while they are 3-1 at home, and keep scoring 16 goals compared to only 6 scored by Austin.
Well, you talk about an Austin side that's missed out on a couple of points this year from some quasi-owned goals, including their last loss, but how do they keep up the near perfection here at home?
Well, tonight's finally the game the Austin fans have been waiting to see. They will get to see that duo up front, Kleber and Andre Lima. They played together with Gremio from 2011 to 2013. Very talented are those two in defense. For Austin, 4 clean sheets, only 6 goals conceded in 8 games. They need to keep it up.
Well, the Energy have some local ties here in Austin, but the man you want to focus on early on is the man coming off that brace.
And Ashord Brown, he leads the team 5 goals, and as you mentioned, coming off that 2-goal performance in the victory over the Tacoma Defiance. Look for him to keep up his hot start.
As for Austin, you talk about the consistency and goal they've had. Well, they're going to change things up today.
That's going to be a new man, the 21-year-old on loan from Atlético Nacional in Colombia, Juan David Ramirez, 2017 Rey Copa Sudamericana champion, 2018 Copa Colombian champion. Very good. The first time the Austin fans will get to see him between the sticks.
Bold and Energy collide for the first time live on a Friday evening in Central Texas. Opening kick when we come back.
Someone said. She's in love with who I am. Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance. Now I hit the FBO with duffels in my hands. I did have a zen, 13 hours till I land. Had it out like a light, like a light, like a light. Slept through the flight, not for the night. 767 minutes, had the 30 minutes. Still got supposed to settle, man. I crept down the block. They don't bite, cut the lights, pay the price, make it sweet. Nothing nice, nuggets in my ice. Jesus Christ, checks over stripes. That's what I like, that's what we like. Lost my respect, you not a threat. When I shoot my shot, that's ready like on Shaq. See the shots that I took, wet like on
Boulder back at home where they have yet to be denied at least 1 point so far. 3 wins and a draw. Lincoln Rose, Kit McConico back with you. Oklahoma City Energy making their first trek down to Central Texas, one of the 4 members now of the USL Championship. We take a look at the starting lineup. Of course, it's former Austin Aztec, who's now been the longtime keeper between the pipes for OKC Energy. Cody Lorendi, no surprise, gets to start back in frame, and you look at the men in front of him.
Yeah, the gentleman I'm keeping an eye on are number 9 and 91 up top. Brown and Gordon, a very potent pairing. Austin's going to have to figure out a way to slow them down.
Gordon most recently called San Antonio FC home as recently as a year ago. As for Austin, here's your lineup. For Marcelo Serrano, slightly different formation, just 3 in the back, no mistake there. Garcia, Taylor, and Phillips will be the anchors in front of Ramirez.
Hey, take a look at that inverted triangle. The native Sonny Guadarrama in the middle of the park. He'll be playing with Lima and Kleber up front. That is going to be the key for Austin.
So essentially no changes for Oklahoma City. Meanwhile, Marcelo Serrano, the 39-year-old who juggles a pair of jobs, head coach of the Bold, also head coach of the U.S. Virgin Islands squad. We are underway. 90 minutes coming your way here in the USL Championship. First year for the Austin Bold to compete as we are nestled in turn 15 of the only North American F1 racetrack, Circuit of the Americas. And it's Austin with the early opportunity. McFarland found himself his account opener last time we saw him on this pitch.
Yeah, what a match that was. Austin got up early. They weathered the storm, played a man down for the entire second half, and ultimately came up victorious 3-2 over the Real Monarchs.
Down a man against the squad from Salt Lake City for 45 minutes, only conceded 1 goal during that time, and were able to hang on for the victory. Our first touch as a member of the Bold there for Ramirez.
You talk about how good Austin has been at home. A perfect 4-0 record. They've given up just 2 goals here on their home pitch.
Sonny Guadarrama, the hometown kid from Cedar Park, just north of Austin.
Yeah, he'll be pulling the strings, playing in that attacking midfield role behind Andre Lima and Kleber. Austin very fortunate to have 2 goalkeepers the caliber of their usual starter, Diego Restrepo, who gets a rest tonight, and the man we mentioned on loan, our key player for Austin, Juan Ramirez, on loan from Atlético Nacional, just 21 years old, very impressive young talent, and he has been chomping at the bit to get some playing time.
Both these clubs step outside of USL Championship competition next weekend to enter into round 2 of the U.S. Open Cup. Austin will be one of the teams that'll meet another USL Championship side in Tulsa, while it'll be the NTX Rayados from here in Texas squaring off against the Energy.
I think that upcoming U.S. Open Cup match, part of the reason that Restrepo gets the rest tonight, along with the fact that you have a goalkeeper the caliber of Ramirez, you want to give him some time. He's been outstanding in practice. He's certainly earned the start tonight.
Want to remind faithful Energy fans who are tuned in at one of the watch parties that Open Cup match is not in OKC, it's down in Norman.
That's a very important point as well.
As again, Juan David Ramirez, a nice resume, not too shabby as a backup goalkeeper this year for the debut side, Austin.
Yeah, what a job he's done in his hometown, the native of Medellin, Colombia. Played for the top team in Colombia, Atlético Nacional. Outstanding work there. Mentioned he won the 2018 Copa Colombia. He's played against some of the top teams, not just in his home country, but in all of the Americas. Played some of the big guns from Brazil and Argentina as well.
Omar Gordon was trying to put together a run there, the man from Montego Bay, Jamaica. This is somehow, I don't know if there's direct flights from the Caribbean to Oklahoma City, but they are finding their way and onto this roster for the Greens.
Well, they are as well for Austin. I was speaking with the director of goalkeeping for the Bull, Ryan Thompson. I said, there's a Jamaican influence. He said, there's just a Jamaican flavor in USL Championship. And right he is. Impressive the talent that comes out of that small island nation.
There's got to be a connection to that fierce ad campaign 20 years ago for Red Stripe. As Austin with a little test there will send it right into the back line of the Energy. Energy sitting at 5th right now in the West. It is a congested West from top to bottom.
It really is. And you talk about the newcomer, New Mexico United atop the standings, how impressive they've been. 17 points, 10 matches, 4 wins, 5 draws, just 1 loss for the Albuquerque-based side.
McFarland into the chest of Lima. Lima coming off a brace last time out here in Austin, able to turn. Eyes up the pitch, has promise instead behind Sony.
Yeah, good work there, going backwards to go forwards.
Guadarrama looking at his options.
Very patient from Sonny, not forcing anything. Austin likes to play the ball to feet. They want to keep it on the ground as much as possible.
Trying to link up with Promise Isaac, but no fault made by that back line. As for OKC, it's your captain Harris able to land on it.
When you talk about impressive resumes, Promise Isaac, what a job with the Nigerian U23 team, a silver medalist in the Olympics.
Steve Cook and his staff of Danny Stone, and of course goalkeeper Victor Ellis.
They've been on fire this season. 9 matches, 4 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 14 points, just 3 off the league leaders in the Western Conference standings.
Looking up top to Cordell. And Kato will see that one. Into touch.
What a difference having Deshaun Brown makes. Having a player like that up top just gives your entire side confidence. If you have a great goal scorer, a great goalkeeper, it makes a huge difference.
Lincoln Rose, Kip McConico with you, and a chance to check in for the first time with the 3rd member of our crew as Ali Trost down on the touchline.
Hey guys, yeah, like you said, there are a couple of firsts on both sides of the ball tonight. We're going to start defensively. Goalkeeper Juan Ramirez is getting his first start, and when I talked to head coach Marcelo Serrano before the game, asking what the cause for the change in replacing Diego Guadarrama, he said it had nothing really to do with an injury or even the own goal last weekend. With the upcoming Open Cup match, he really wanted to get him some minutes in before the Bold take on the Tulsa Roughnecks on Tuesday. Moving over to the offensive side of the ball, looking at Andre Lima and Kleber starting up top together for the first time, and Marcelo Serrano also said that these are 2 players who, their Brazilian connection, they read the ball and the plays really well, and they are both really high quality players, and he's really hoping the 2 of them can put together a full 90 minutes.
Ali, thank you very much. Opening minutes underway, and I think our OKC fans will forgive the Freudian slip and might even endorse it.
And not just the fact that Kleber and Andre Lima are Brazilians, the fact that they played together for Grêmio for 2 years, 2011 to 2013, one of the top teams in all of South America. They have the pairing. They are both number 9. Coach Serrano said they're good friends off the pitch. They work well together. He's seen it in the top levels of Brazilian football, and he's hoping that pairing will duplicate itself here in Austin.
Scoreless here in the 7th minute. First meeting on the year between these 2 sides as they will collide again up in Oklahoma City late in August. Season will wrap up for most teams late October. An opportunity here off this free kick coming up from your man with the 10 on his back, Bossetti.
First real opportunity for the Energy. Austin has been dominant in possession thus far.
Little French delivery sent inside the 18. Energy will land on the rebound.
Massetti, the Nice native. Good ball into a dangerous area.
Shot from 20, and Ramirez tested for the first time as Williams making the new keeper sweat a bit.
Fantastic stuff from Juan David Ramirez, the Colombian. A beautiful save, able to parry it over the crossbar. First shot he faces in a real match. A tough shot, sidewinder, bending away. Ramirez up to the task.
Again, Williams part of that Caribbean influence from the Port of Spain, TNT. And Austin not in the clear just yet.
And I mentioned it, but there are teams at higher levels that do not have one goalkeeper the caliber of the 2 that Austin has in Restrepo and Ramirez. Fantastic stuff from Ramirez. That is going to give him a huge boost of confidence to come up with that save. It is one thing to make big saves in practice, quite another in a live match.
OKC begging for the penalty, hoping that they would have gotten a call for the handball, but instead not an intentional play, simply another corner kick coming up.
Missed opportunity there. Beautiful ball sent in by Bossetti. Put it on target. Found a teammate, just couldn't redirect it on frame. And right now it looks like the opportunities are going to come via set pieces for the visitors.
Another dangerous moment, just misangled off the noggin there of Harris, the captain.
Tiba Harris had a great chance, got to it, but just unable to put it where he wanted it. Ramirez was shaded toward the near post. Would have been hard for him to get back towards it.
Harris just shy of 300 appearances for FC Dallas in Major League Soccer. Time with Real Salt Lake as well as Chivas USA as well. A lot of impressive resumes colliding here today as Lima right now will help himself up.
give Andre Lima credit. He came in, he was not in tip-top shape. He'd be the first to admit it, but he's quickly gotten himself in very good shape the last few matches. He's played the full 90. And a big target forward, that's difficult to do, but Andre Lima impressing.
Lima making his 5th start now for Austin in 9 appearances. Again, both his goals coming in that victory against the Monarchs.
Having Kleber and Andre Lima up front, the only 2 Bold players that have scored more than 1 goal. That's just something you can't teach. You cannot teach goal scoring. You either have it or you don't.
Gordon sent it in. He was looking for Deshaun Brown, and why wouldn't you be trying to dial up number 9?
Yeah, talk about somebody who knows a thing or two about goal scoring. Deshaun Brown, he can put the ball in the back of the net.
As he had one Jamaican eyeing another. Again, Brown finally returned back in the lineup last week and was able to answer with that brace. Now the team high 5 goals. Meanwhile, Austin's leading scorers, a pair of men with 2 goals apiece. Lima as well as Kleber, your 2 men married up top today.
Yeah, you look at the difference in goals, 16 by 9 different players for OKC. Austin, just 6 goals by 4 different players, but Kleber and Andre Lima, the only 2 with more than 1.
You, of course, then contrast that as OKC 16 goals allowed, just 1 clean sheet, while Austin has allowed just 6 goals on the year.
And interestingly enough, OKC, of those 16 goals, 9 have come on the road.
This is a West where obviously the cliche is you must win the 3 points at home and try to draw on the road. But this really is a conference within the USL Championship where you must come away with the full 3 each and every time you're in front of your home fans.
Without a shadow of a doubt, things so tight. Sonny Guadarrama colliding with Bossetti, and
that's shades of Robert Ory and Steve Nash.
Bossetti making the most of that, as they say. He made a meal out of that foul, and I think head coach Marcelo Serrano saying the same. But the
more power to him. They brought out the yellow card. Perhaps an Academy Award to follow. I don't care for which group you're cheering for. I think the replay pretty much sold it.
Your attention, please. A yellow card has been issued at the 11th minute. Number 33, Sonny Guadarrama.
Sonny Guadarrama picks up the caution.
Numero 33, Sonny Guadarrama.
Interestingly enough, that board has not been there all year as a temporary board for the USL Championship right in front of our 4th official.
And Lincoln, back to your previous point before the foul, how tight things are in the Western Conference. New Mexico United atop the standings with 17, and then Tulsa, Portland, OKC 15, 15, 14, and Los Dos there as well. It is very much, you have to come away with the 3 points, especially at home, if you're going to get in playoff contention.
Here's Alvin Jones, signed mid-season back in April. Austin had some early opportunities, but it's been Oklahoma City with some set-piece chances.
That's been the difference. Austin had a bit more possession. Their chances have come through the run of play. The set pieces, that is where the Energy have had their chances. A beautiful corner served into the box. Harris just unable to redirect it on frame. The best chance thus far, and still scoreless 12.5 minutes in.
Cato on the near touchline with Williams.
This is good stuff from OKC, starting to build from the back, having more the ball at their feet, being patient. Austin, a team that likes to possess, and more so likes to possess in their opponent's end.
Oh, the right idea from Brown. Just could not get the ball to settle in front of Cato in time.
You see Cato there, wisely able to play it back to Williams.
Looking for a vulnerability there on the far post.
There's a height advantage for OKC. One thing I've noticed looking at these rosters, certainly up top, and they're looking to exploit that.
Back inside the 18. Austin lost last week because of an own goal. They are extra mindful of not allowing any more of those miscues, especially in front of your new keeper.
Well, twice this year. Once it was ruled a goal scored by the opponents in that first loss Austin had on the road, but twice Austin has inflicted wounds and they've ultimately come away with losses, and that is something they have to be very cognizant of.
Now, it hasn't cost them wins, it has cost them draws, so they've missed out on 2 points so far as a result. Sacramento, and then most recently last weekend, again against Los Dos. 1-0 was the score in each of those. Austin has been a fairly clean side this year, and yet plenty of whistles early on from our lead man, Elton Garcia.
Referee Mr. Garcia calling things very tight in the first quarter hour of this match. Austin, they have size. They like to play a bit more physical.
Meanwhile, Cody Lorendi does not mind how little we've had to talk about him so far.
As you mentioned, a man who used to call the capital city home, former Austin Aztec, the Fort Lauderdale, Florida native.
He was teammates with current teammate Max Gunderson and also today's opponent, Chris Tierpak, for the Austin Bold.
I saw he and Chris exchanging pleasantries before the match, maybe reminiscing about the pitches they used to play on as members of the Austin Aztec.
Yeah, suited up for Coach Paul Dalglish back then in downtown Austin. Meanwhile, Ramirez, mentioned on loan this year from Atlético Nacional, as the Colombian looks on. All of 22 years old. That's a fresh 22, birthday back in January. Guadarrama trying to let something build in front of him.
That's where Sonny's at his best, playing in the middle of the park, drawing defenders and then dishing to an open teammate.
McFarland had the opener against the Real Monarchs. Can he find his second goal on the year off the left boot? It'll stray wide.
The confidence just continues to grow from Sion McFarland, listed as a right back. Very impressive, multi-talented player. He can do it up and down, one of those new wave of wing backs who presses all the way up, and the energy defense just opening up. But that is a shot at the very least you have to put on frame, force Lorendi into a save. You let him off the hook there.
Last year he was with that NPSL championship side, Miami FC. Before that, the Switchbacks. So Austin survived an early onslaught from OKC.
Yeah, that's not Austin's game. Tried to play it up to Kleber. Well read and picked off by OKC.
Gordon's entry feed denied point blank. Again, we saw Omar last year shoot up 24 times for San Antonio FC, about an hour down the road. Signed this January. And Ramirez, no issue whatsoever squeezing that one in.
And nicely done by Ramirez to save and the quick outlet up the pitch. One thing, Austin, with the combination of Kleber, the Gladiator, and Andre Lima up top, they both have size, but lacking a bit of speed, and that's going to have to come from the wingbacks, be it Isaac or McFarland pushing forward.
Congrats to all of our friends north of the border, not in Oklahoma, but in Canada. The Canadian Premier League finally getting underway this year, but for OKC, that meant Marco Bustos had an opportunity. Here's an opportunity for the Greens. Ramirez with the stop. It'll be a corner kick, but Cato, again, almost spotting the visitors the advantage.
What a job from Juan Ramirez. Absolutely fantastic. This is what you do as a goalkeeper. You get as big as you possibly can, take up as much space, and hit right into his chest. Looking there like Franco Armani, his former teammate at Atlético Nacional. Beautiful stuff. And Austin very lucky the mistake from Fabian Garcia did not cost them the opener.
Cato was looking for his third goal on the young campaign. Second leading scorer for the Greens. Offside flag is up.
That was just a huge mistake in the back. Garcia, don't know if he was looking for the flag to be raised or what the situation was, but he just simply stopped playing, and thankfully for him, his goalkeeper came up huge with the save.
I was mentioning some players we are seeing starting to head back home to Canada because of the existence of that top flight league. Marco Bustos for OKC, but they quickly found Javon Watson to take his place on the roster.
And Javon Watson catching up with his fellow Jamaicans before the match, and there's a large contingent of them. Very impressive player, multi-talented in the midfield. We'll see if he comes off the bench. I said, did you even have time to get to Oklahoma City? He said, basically time to drop off my bags before we made the trip down to Austin.
And he'll have a chance to get introduced to Bricktown a little bit later on. Opportunity again. They go back to Cato. And offside flag is up as Deshaun Brown guilty of being a step too quick.
Cato, the TNT man, either has to play that quicker, put that on frame. And you see Brown, that's exactly what he's saying. He likes the idea, got the thumbs up. The ball needs to find him just a second faster.
Great to have you with us on this Friday night, as Cody Lorendi really has not had to come up with an answer here early on in his return to his own old stomping grounds, the live music capital of the world, Austin, Texas. Again, we are at the home of the Austin Bold. Bold Stadium nestled into turn 15 here at Circuit of the Americas.
Absolutely beautiful facility, state-of-the-art, fantastic stands. They're shaded in the pitch. It is a carpet world class, and hats off to the groundskeeping crew. They do a wonderful job.
This is the 63rd appearance already for Cody Lorendi in goal. That is a record for goalkeepers for Oklahoma City. Again, of course, he's also your goalkeeper for the Puerto Rico national team, Steve Cook. That's a no-brainer when he has to pin that man back on the goal line.
Two very good goalkeepers tonight. So far, Austin, he looked the better of the two sides through the first 10 minutes, but the second 10 have belonged to OKC. They've had more opportunities. Austin settling for optimistic chances well outside the 18. Beautiful tackle there.
Toss coming up for the Bold. Reminder, Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship in many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in ball quality as well as innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, you can visit selectsportamerica.com. Austin cannot sneak that one inside the 18 this trip down.
Yeah, well read out, well defended. The defense doing its job for the Energy.
And it looked promising there with Deshaun Brown. Just his 6th appearance on the year, but he's made such an impact. Now to Manchester, Jamaica, member of the national team with those 14 caps.
I must say how very impressed I am with the way the Energy are able to turn a turnover quickly the other way. The ball will be in their third at the top of the 18, and they're able to put that ball at the top of the Austin 18 in a matter of seconds. A lot of speed on the OKC roster.
If you're joining us late, that is not Diego Restrepo. For the first time in Bold history, a new name back between the posts. Restrepo getting tonight off after already 4 clean sheets, and you could argue he should have 6 already. Juan David Ramirez on loan from his home of Colombia.
And a bit of a ticky-tack foul there for my liking. Just Lima, the bigger man, saw that he extended his arm, the elbow, which drew the whistle of the official, but if that is how they're going to call things, it may be a long night for Andre Lima up top.
Meanwhile, Williams was the bigger man in that collision. And a gentleman, I'm not reading lips, and I could not see the lips from that angle, but I'm guessing he's asking, where's the yellow there? Yeah, I don't think it deserved a yellow, but I think you could argue the one mustard we have seen so far was not necessary.
You saw Diego Restrepo, Austin's backup goalkeeper for tonight's match, the former national champion with the University of Virginia. 2017 goalkeeper of the year in the USL.
And a foul against OKC. We just saw Sonny Guadarrama win a header. Sonny G has got so much influence. There is a man who's hasn't given up a goal so far tonight. Diego Restrepo, of course, we know him from the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, Tampa Bay Rowdies, more recently down in San Antonio.
Yeah, he's played all over in Venezuela, Colombia.
Flag stays down. Ramirez with the stop.
So far, Ramirez, great stuff from the 22-year-old Colombian. Every save he's been called upon, he's come up with. I haven't seen Javi Baez get as involved as I would like if I'm Austin. The man with the number 8 on his back, the former Chivas of Guadalajara man, generally is the workhorse, an outstanding work rate, great in the midfield for Austin. Just hasn't seen a lot of the ball.
We've only seen him with about 1 touch until here with those orange boots. McFarland to Baez. Asking you shall receive. Baez the cross, but nobody home initially. Lima will land on it. 25 yards out, sends in the cross. And the Energy continue to thwart any effort from the home sun.
And Baez just well over the top of Lima. Thankfully for him, Kleber was in the vicinity, but unable to find his target with the next entry ball.
Energy going with the same 11 men that they had in their victory against the Defiance. Promise Isaac. Phillips, his second appearance here in Austin.
Samar Phillips, the Jamaican former Stoke City man. Good stuff from him.
How about if we don't say where a player for Austin or OKC is from, you just assume they're from Jamaica.
The chances of that are high.
McFarland sends one in.
You're really starting to see the frustration from the Austin forwards, Kleber and Andre Lima. There is a lot of pushing and shoving, and so far it is not in favor of the 2 up top for the Bold.
A little gingerly jog from Promise Isaac.
You take another look, Sean McFarland pressing forward, good ball in. You see Kleber, palms to the sky. Rare, if ever, you're gonna get the whistle in that place of the pitch.
At the moment, Austin down a man. Foot race to the corner, no one will get there in time. Simply a goal kick coming up for Ramirez. Well, Austin, again, Tuesday will host Tulsa in round 2. That obviously will not count towards the USL Championship standings. They'll still meet twice in the regular season. But that's a big deal for this Austin side. Having a team back in the U.S. Open Cup, it's one of their goals to have a deep run, and they certainly have the veterans to do it.
Well, it's the oldest competition in U.S. professional sports. Just so much history goes along with the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, what it means, and Austin and their fans so excited to be back part of it. Quite simply, nothing like it. And fans of international football know that you're playing your domestic schedule. It's fun. You play against your rivals, but come cup time, as we saw this week in Champions League, you flip another switch.
Williams, the former Richmond kicker, sends it into the 18, and it's returned to sender back into touch.
Promise Isaac finally coming back on the pitch. That is a very good sign. The former Super Eagle, U23 Nigerian. Mentioned he won that silver medal in the Olympics. Good to see that he's going to be able to return and continue.
Quick touch from DeFonte. Send one through, nobody there to play with, as Phillips will track it down. As, again, you mentioned, Promise Isaac back on the pitch. He'd been battling a hamstring earlier this year. Hasn't shown any signs of it as of late.
It looks if, for the time being, if nothing more, Austin making a bit of a formation change as Isaac and Andre Lima switching places. Isaac now up top as that target forward, joining Kleber. And Andre Lima dropping back into the left side of the midfield, taking Promise Isaac's former spot.
Of course, busy weekend in the USL Championship. Already one final, Memphis and Hartford. Flag stays down. Opportunity here, able to slam it home. Oklahoma City able to strike first, and for a 6th time this young campaign, it's Deshaun Brown.
But give the credit to Omar Gordon. What a job, a beautiful feed from the Montego Bay native. Put it on the money, hard and low, perfect service from number 91 to number 9, and no mistake from Brown. Here it is one more time, able to get by his fellow teammate for the Reggae Boys. And that is a beautiful ball. Ramirez has to get something to it. He beat McFarland, and absolutely no mistake on the finish from Deshaun Brown.
For Omar, his 3rd assist this year. He finds Brown, who over the years has found the back of the net in Spain, China, Norway, and tonight the Lone Star State.
You have a finisher the caliber of Deshaun Brown. That is easy pickings for him. Credit to Gordon. Beautiful work. Got to it. Able to beat his defender and a picture-perfect assist.
Ramirez was left on an island after Gordon was able to win his matchup. Might as well be the same odds as staring down a penalty kick.
I mentioned the speed of OKC. That is something Austin does not have, with the exception of a few players, and so far the visitors have been able to use that to their advantage. Austin just quite simply unable to keep up. One man who does have that now down on the pitch, Sion McFarland.
Elton Garcia will stop play. That was Williams pursuing the ball. We have not, there it is.
You knew that was coming. If that was a yellow on Sonny Guadarrama earlier, that had to be a yellow on Williams. Just all the contacts with McFarland. Williams picks up the caution.
Your attention, please. Yellow card has been issued to number 55 of the OKC Energy, Mikhail Williams, in the 30th minute.
Explanation to Rafael Garcia. Again, both of those incidents could easily have gone without any flash of color. But instead we do have one yellow for each, including one for this man earlier, Sonny Guadarrama, the biggest bully in the yard.
Yeah, that's a great point, Lincoln. When you make that early pull to the pocket, when you bring out the yellow so early in a match, you are setting the precedent that fouls after that, you have to show the yellow. You have to keep consistency, and that is generally why officials don't like to show yellow cards unless they absolutely have to in the first half.
A rare opportunity for Austin here since the opening 5 minutes of the match. Sonny Guadarrama looking for the equalizer. But the Energy able to shut it down quickly.
Not the best service there from Sonny G. You have to get that ball over the first wall of defenders. You've got to get it to the top of the 6 and on to a teammate. Easily cleared away by OKC.
Already a half hour complete here in Austin. Bold Stadium. Beautiful venue, great sight lines as we are here in the Hill Country.
And a beautiful evening. The weather, a bit of rain in the forecast. So far, none has found us, and that is great and unseasonably cool for this time of year in Central Texas.
There is one of the easiest people to get along with, Marcelo Serrano. He deals with so many diverse cultures and somehow makes them all feel like they're part of a family, and that is his approach.
Well, it helps when you're trilingual. When you can translate things in English, Spanish, and Portuguese, makes that communication part just a bit easier.
Even put some of his skills to work right there.
Former Villa Nova man from Minas Gerais, Brazil. Coached with the Brazilian under-15, under-17 national teams before making his way stateside.
Well, fans, you can follow the Bold and the Energy the rest of this USL Championship campaign all along on ESPN+. It's home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. You can sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Normally, I would assume everybody who's listening to me read that would already have ESPN+, but I'm mindful of a couple of watch parties going on in the Oklahoma City area.
The great thing about ESPN Plus is you can watch all the matches in the USL Championship. I've had the opportunity to watch New Mexico United on more than a few occasions, amongst other teams.
Yeah, I lied to you when I told you there'd be no homework. So yeah, Austin has not been able to answer the lone goal from Deshaun Brown. His 3rd in the past week now, already his 6th on the year.
And what a difference having number 9 in the lineup makes. Just absolutely electric, a goal scorer in every way.
Most popular tickets, by the way, aren't actually tickets, but the seating right there under those trees. You grab your concessions and beverages, and you have as good of a vantage point as anybody.
Substitution
Where I found you
on the
pre-match.
pitch, Austin Bold FC. Entering the game, number 27, Valerie Saramutin.
As Saramutin
Making the field,
introduced
number 11,
the
Sunny
first sub.
Guadarrama.
Promise Isaac was not able to continue after the early issues. So Saramutin makes his 7th appearance on the year. A New Jersey native who grew up in Russia, such a common story.
Austin Bold FC.
Saramutin has really been coming on strong of late. He's had some fantastic performances the last few matches.
Our first look at Saramutin.
Tough defender, good in the midfield. Not necessarily the gentleman you think is going to score, but he can win the ball back and quickly get it up to the pitch to the men who can.
So Austin, down a goal, has already had to spend its first of 3 substitutes on a first-half change for injury.
And the scary thing was you saw Andre Lima up top. He was down, looked like he was trying to stretch out his right foot. He dropped back previously into that midfield as Isaac had taken his spot. Now will retake his place at the top of the triangle.
Quickly back into the 18. Austin able to avoid surrendering the corner. We will point out Austin has not overcome a deficit and ultimately found a victory. Often it is Austin with the opening goal. The 2 occasions they've surrendered the first goal, the final score 1-0, and essentially both those goals have been borderline own goals.
And this is just the 3rd goal that Austin has surrendered at home all season.
They had not surrendered any until their last matchup when, again, the Monarchs were able to find a couple, including one with a man advantage. Lima.
The difference in that match, Austin already had the advantage. Now they'll have to play from behind tonight.
Rare touch from Kleber. They'd love for him to be on the receiving end. They had that idea, little miscue, but ultimately not made to pay. Lorendi.
Gladiator was the target of that ball, but a lot of frustration on the part of Austin's captain. You can see it on his face, doing everything he can to get open. Guadarrama tried to find number 9, and very lucky as that one knocked away.
Yeah, off the backside of Garcia, but Lorendi was there to help play the role of an eraser, cleaning up the mistake. USL Championship postseason growing. Last year, teams that missed out on the playoffs by being a 9 or a 10 spot in the standings this year would make their way into the postseason. Right now, Energy sitting in a good spot, but how quickly things can change in the West from 1 week to the next.
Critical final 8.5 minutes of this first half for both of these sides. Austin really needs to dig deep and try to come up with the equalizer. Likewise, if OKC can double their lead and find the insurance goal before the break, that would be massive for the visitors to go in with a 2-0 advantage.
After that win against the Monarchs 2 weeks ago, the Bold were sitting in 6th place, but without any points on the road last weekend again, they slipped back outside the playoff picture. Gordon, this is where he worked his magic earlier.
One bit of good news for Austin, when you look at matches played, Austin just 8 matches played thus far compared to the 9 from OKC and the 10 from New Mexico United and Tulsa.
What a signing Omar Gordon was for OKC this year. Part of that CONCACAF Gold Cup runners-up showing in 2017.
So far, Gordon has been the most effective. The goal came from Brown, but all the work was on the part of Gordon. He was able to come up with it, beat his defender, and put the beautiful ball right on the boot of Brown.
Energy looking for insurance, back with Williams. And Valeri Saramutin was your sub here in the first half. They'll get him with the touch. Pardon me, no foul on OKC first.
Our referee, Omi Garcia, calling things as he has from the opening whistle, very tightly, but he's doing it for both sides.
Looking for a mistake. Won't be one this time. You mentioned the creative Javi Baez, limited tonight.
Energy have done a good job keeping Baez out of this match. They know what he can do. Force other bold players to try to be that creative distributor.
That ball gets all the way through to Ramirez. This is not an impenetrable back line of Oklahoma City. You mentioned the 16 goals surrendered, 12 of them under the watch of Lorendi. Conversely, with 29 saves on the year. But it's an Energy side that's also not going to be shut down.
They will trade goals. They think they can outscore most teams. If that means they're going to win 2-1 or 3-2, so be it. They have the offensive firepower to do so.
Austin still searching for a way to take the 0 off the board. McFarland, just nobody there. All the white kits remaining organized, but there will be a corner kick coming up for the home side.
That's a great point, Lincoln. You're not seeing those black jerseys get forward. McFarland with it, and it has to go one-on-one. No one there to support. Baez comes late, but you look in the box, all white kits, no bold players there to get on the end of it.
Well, it's not going to be a Sonny G special. It'll be DeMar Phillips. We won't call him the Jamaican. We'll call him a Jamaican.
One of many.
Looking to make his mark. Energy able to land on this one. Full speed ahead there with Bossetti. Saramutin able to win it back.
Beautiful tackle from Saramutin. It looks like that was going to find its target. Bossetti was making a streaking run to the top of the box.
A counter opportunity lost for the Energy. Moby Okugo, one of the many bold players who have worn the captain's armband this year.
Okugo, one of those defenders who oftentimes flies under the radar because he is so consistent, just does his job, match in and match out.
Flies under the radar, but also flies up the pitch. These defenders for Austin cover a lot of ground.
They do indeed. The wing backs, McFarland, Okugo, if they choose to play Phillips in the back line, as he's more than capable of doing.
Garcia will bring men together from both sides. As Kleber and Rafael Garcia, I'm just going to assume no relation.
I think that's a safe assumption.
Just as I assume Elton Garcia doesn't spend time in a piano bar. Opportunity out on the wing.
I've been impressed with the Energy defense. They've done everything asked of them. All the talk about their offense, and rightfully so. A team that scores a lot of goals, but the defense led by Cody Lorendi and that back four doing everything they need to thus far in the 42nd minute.
And Lorendi's only missed one match this year when Brian Byers stepped in, the Oklahoma City native. Lorendi out of Melbourne, Florida. McFarland, but the Energy able to get their numbers back. Lorendi, only man he was competing with was his own teammate.
But no bold player in the picture. One well outside. A good ball in space to McFarland where he can be at his most dangerous. You see the entry pass, no one there. Andre Lima outside on the far side of the box, but never a chance to get on the end of it.
McFarland's like that kid during recess wanting to play catch, but it just winds up throwing it off a wall, hoping it'll come back to him.
He could play catch with himself as fast as he is.
It may come to that. Guadarrama will send one in.
And Austin electing to go to the long ball, trying to play over the top. Not their style, not what their strength is.
That's a throw, not a kick for Austin. Deshaun Brown found the opening goal for Oklahoma City when Omar Gordon went to work and put on some dance moves. It was a slam dunk for Brown.
Weathered the opening storm. Austin with the chances and looking for the spectacular was Sonny G.
Gordon again. Bold getting numbers back. Gordon sends one over the top but wide. Simply a goal kick coming up with a 22-year-old in front.
That's a good ball. Great idea. Just have to make that run a step outside in the curve, just taking it out of the path of its intended target. But so far, Omar Gordon, he is the man of the match in the first half.
Oklahoma City getting close to taking a clean sheet into the locker room. Closing minute of the scheduled 45 to begin this half. We have had a little stoppage for injury and substitution on the Austin side of things. We anticipate there will be no fewer than 2 minutes of stoppage time here at Bold Stadium tonight.
2 cards. Guadarrama picked up the first yellow, and then Williams followed him into that inauspicious club.
I haven't pulled my index finger out recently to count, but it just seems like there are more white kits for the visiting team out there on the pitch right now. They constantly have their men marked.
It's the speed of OKC, and right now that is the difference. One of the big differences, I should say. They are a faster team. They're getting to the ball quicker, 50-50 balls, all in favor of the visitors.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes
fewer than
of
2
time
minutes
in the first half.
For, again, Oklahoma City and Coach Cook to maintain this advantage, if not build upon it, before halftime.
You see the 1- and 2-touch passing so quick, wasting no time.
Momentary intervention from Fabian Garcia.
It had to be because Gordon was there yet again.
Lima. Baez. Can Austin find the equalizer here in the next minute?
OKC doing a fantastic job getting numbers behind the ball.
A drive and a stop from Lorendi as he will escort it wide of that post.
Maybe that's what it's going to take from Austin. Maybe Guadarrama, the local product, is going to have to pull one from long range. That was destined for the back of the net, and Lorendi not been able to palm it over.
Baez, in a moment, will have the service from the corner. Pressure here on the Energy, but they do have that size advantage. Lorendi gets the troops organized, defending a 1-goal lead here in the first half. Javi Baez looking for his first assist on the young campaign. That one about 13 yards up top. And a foul won by Austin. Gordon.
One of the few mistakes we've seen tonight from Gordon, and if the official, what we've seen in the first 45 minutes, that is going to be a foul every single time. Sarah Mooten immediately whips around and wins a dangerous free kick from Austin. The question is, who's going to take it? There are a lot of suitors.
Garcia and Lima right now, your leading candidates, but only about 2% of the precincts have factored in. Again, Garcia, the Frenchman, his 5th appearance, 2nd start on the year.
This is a good angle from the side. You can put this one directly on frame.
Stonewalled. And the subsequent shot from Phillips. That is your opening half in the capital city of the Lone Star State tonight. Your difference, the energy. Deshaun Brown finding his 6th goal already of the season. as Omar Gordon able to dial him up. Austin's already had to go to the bench once as we've reached the midway break.
Wrap one today at the backyard and enjoy responsibly. Ascension Seton is the official jersey sponsor and sports medicine provider for your Austin Bowl, ensuring the highest level of care and athletic performance for the team. A portion of jersey sales will also benefit Dell Children's Ascension, so be sure to grab yours today at the team shop located in the Grand Plaza. Step up your stay at the Courtyard Marriott Austin Pflugerville and Pflugerville Conference Center, the official hotel partner of the Austin Bold Football Club, where winners feel at home. Go to austinboldfc.com/partners to make your reservation.
I remember the day you asked, "What now, Dad?" So I said, find a job, any job, work hard. That's just how it is. But of course you didn't listen. You showed me there's another way. I'm proud of you.
This match is brought to you by Ascension Seton, the official medical provider and sports medicine partner of the Austin Bold. By Courtyard Marriott, step up your stay at the Courtyard Austin Pflugerville, where winners feel at home. And by HEB, the official grocery store of your Austin Bold. No store does more than HEB. Well, right now, the Energy doing a little more than the Bold. They have the lone victory. Of course, it's all about the future of soccer. With pro soccer returning, that means perhaps a bright future for some of the next generation here in the Lone Star State.
And it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to Del Seton Medical Center at the University of Texas for a very exciting announcement this morning, to where we're announcing that Ascension Seton is both the title sponsor and the medical provider for the new Austin Bold here in Texas. So we're very excited for that. So when the players, athletes, or families need care, we're going to be there and have the people available for you on the field. And you can rest assured that Ascension Seton and our affiliated physicians will be ready to serve. And so with that, I'd like to welcome up to the stage the owner of our new soccer team, the Austin Bold, Bobby Epstein.
I was trying to think of a lot of the similarities, and there are a lot of similarities between Ascension Seton and the work they do, and the Austin Bold, and the work we try and do. With all the giving you do, we want to be meaningful too. And for that, and to show our commitment to this community, the Bold are going to give 5% of all their ticket sales to Dell Children's Hospital.
to you by Dell Children's Ascension, the official charity partner of the Austin Bowl. By Courtyard Marriott. Step up your stay at Courtyard Austin Pflugerville, where winners feel at home. And by HEB, the official grocery store of your Austin Bowl. No store does more than HEB. Halftime here in Austin. Always look forward to any Texas and Oklahoma teams colliding. We take a look at the standings. Austin is looking up at a lot of the West after coming back home empty-handed against that matchup against Los Dos. Meanwhile, a chance here for the Energy to continue to climb the table.
And for Austin, you're not going to say it's a must-win this early in the season, but you're at home, you unbeaten thus far at Bold Stadium, going up against a team above you in the standings. You at least have to get a point. That means they're going to have to come from behind in the second 45.
And surely the Energy fans are happy for all the Roughnecks fans, right?
Oh, clearly.
New Mexico United, what a debut in the USL Championship this year for them. We take a look at some of the storylines specifically for Austin. Clever last time at home, they missed out on having number 9 on the pitch due to a suspension. He is back. Chance for the fans to come back here to Bold Stadium next Tuesday, the U.S. Open Cup, one of the all-time great ventures here in the United States, as competition at all levels a chance to collide.
It's one of the most fantastic tournaments in all of sports in this country. The U.S. Open Cup in action here in the capital of the great state of Texas. And the debut of Juan Ramirez, the youngster, the 22-year-old Colombian, so far done a great job. Just the one goal, but he's come up with saves. Austin defensively hasn't given him a lot of help.
Hard to pin that lone goal on him. Gordon's so creative, able to dial up Brown as those two connecting to give the Energy the difference maker so far through the opening half of play. Oklahoma City with the lone goal thus far. Cody Lorendi perhaps looking for his second clean sheet this season. Fans making their way out to Bold Stadium to take in some grub and maybe some soccer as well. That is a friend if I've ever seen one. Kid, don't ever ask me to share my fries.
I know better.
And let's take a look at what is to look forward to for both of these sides. First up, again, back in that opening half, Austin had a memorable opening 5 minutes, but then the next 40 minutes, really all visitors.
That beautiful save from Ramirez, the first real shot he's had to save as a starting goalkeeper, comes away with a beautiful stop. Harris, a great corner, but just couldn't put it on frame.
Again, set pieces would accumulate ultimately for the Energy. Ramirez would have answers early on. But that one time that Gordon got open out wide, Ball perhaps bounces his way, dials up the familiar target. Deshaun Brown makes no mistake.
Yeah, great stuff there from Gordon. So fast, able to get around the final defender right on the money. And Brown, a proven goal scorer, puts his side up. Sarah Mooten coming down as the bench. A sub for Promise Isaac got into the act defensively. Austin had chances, but just not enough opportunities, not enough men in the box. And a great one here from Sonny G at the end of the first half, but Lorendi comes up with a big save.
That was the closest thing to an equalizer that Austin would see. We take a look at some of the numbers from the opening half. What stands out for you?
The fact that Austin has had 57% of the possession, a bit of a surprise. They had more in the first 12 minutes, but I thought it was pretty even in the final 30 minutes of the half. Shots, Austin was 7, but they have to get better shots on goal, force Lorendi into more than the 2 saves he had to make.
Well, in a tight West, these two teams don't want to look past today's match, but you and I have that luxury. We look ahead at the upcoming schedule. First up for Oklahoma City. Now, as you look at the schedule, this does not include the U.S. Open Cup matches this next week. Real Monarchs, Colorado Springs Switchbacks, both on the horizon. As Los Dos then to help kick off June. As for Austin, we'll take a look at what they have coming up soon enough.
Austin making the trip out west to Orange County, then up to Fresno before taking on the #1 team in the Western Conference here at home.
A little bit of road trip before the leaders of the West make their way here to Central Texas. That New Mexico United squad, such a great debut with their fan base.
Important for Austin to get off to a good start here in this second half.
Well, we learned earlier this week a dozen players from the USL family, and that family continues to grow, will be making their way into the U20 World Cup over there in Poland. I made sure to clarify, not Portland, right? Over in Poland. Both great soccer hotbed destinations. And then, yes, next week, both of these teams will have a chance to host the second round where they make their debut in this year's U.S. Open Cup, including Austin against Tulsa on Tuesday, as Energy will have their chance against the NTX Rayados.
That should be fantastic matches, second round of the U.S. Open Cup. And great stuff from the USL Championship. 20 players represented from the league on that U20 Championship roster.
You saw that final score between Hartford and Memphis. Meanwhile, RGV, one of your 4 teams in the Lone Star State this year, will get underway a little bit later on against Phoenix Rising, a squad that's still trying to find their rhythm this year. And then tomorrow, Charleston, St. Louis, Charlotte, Loudon among the many options you will have on ESPN+.
Yeah, but it was a surprise as you look at teams like RGV and Phoenix Rising, and teams that you expect to be higher up the table. Also the case with Sacramento, but still plenty of time for them to make the move.
Our players have made the move from the locker room back to the pitch. Just about ready to go here to start the second half.
As I was saying, Austin, important to get off on the right foot here in the second half.
Let's check in with Allie, who's had a chance to catch up with the managers.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I just caught up with Oklahoma coach Steve Cook, and he said he's expecting to see a lot of the same great quality that he's been seeing from Austin Bold in this second half. However, he said that on his side of the game, his team's going to need to come out and bring the same high intensity and high pressure that they brought. He said Deshaun Brown has been an incredible key piece, and he's happy to have him back in that starting lineup. He made his first start since March 24th in Week 9 last week, and obviously he's had great success so far. He said he's a high character player, high quality player, and he's excited to see what he can bring for the rest of this game. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Brown is putting up tremendous numbers here in the early part of this 2019 campaign.
And Brown having missed games, but still leads the team with 5 goals, coming off that 2-goal performance in the victory over Tacoma.
They brought Deshaun in near the end of last season, back in September, able to wrap up that USL campaign.
I can tell you one thing, Brown would not be nearly as effective without the likes of Gordon, Cato, Bassetti, and the like. Those guys really just giving him great opportunities. And when you have players like that that put a ball right on target and all you have to do is finish, makes it look easy.
Cody Lorendi trying to organize his men here early in the second half. What kind of adjustments has Austin made as the Energy able to come through?
The better opportunities came via the set piece for the visitors in the first half. Austin trying to find one of their own. Just too much tussling in the 6, draws the whistle.
Well, of course, Cody's been with the Energy for so long, but in addition to Austin, we saw him with Los Dos as well back on his resume. Had that knee injury 2 years ago, was able to make 9 appearances last year, including 4 clean sheets with Oklahoma City.
And great to see him back at 100%, coming off a difficult knee injury. The mental aspect, sometimes as difficult, if not more so, than recovering physically, but he appears to be back to where we've seen him, and very happy to see that.
Callum Ross, a rare chance for us to call a defender's name for the Energy. Last time you and I saw Mr. Ross, it was up in Kansas City as he was leading those Wingate Bulldogs to the Division II National Championship.
An impressive player with Wingate. Picked up the title as a collegiate player and now extends his career in the professional ranks. Great to see that, and some of those Division II and III players not overlooked. They certainly have the caliber and the capabilities. Ross, perfect example.
He joined the Energy back in 2016, shortly after guiding Wingate to the title that winter. Bulldogs, I believe, went unbeaten that year, and of course that was at the previous home of the Swope Park Rangers, Swope Park itself. Great venue. As McFarland and Garcia collide, Energy still with the ball. Again, another touch there for Ross.
Energy doing a very good job starving Austin of possession, a team that likes to have the ball. They like to control, dictate the pace of play, but it's the Energy doing that to Austin, and not a position they like to be in.
Gordon. Baez wanted to hang on to his dance partner.
And just too much there from Baez. Gordon bigger, faster. Baez, the wily veteran, just unable to stick with him without committing the foul.
And Javi Baez out of Reynosa, Mexico. Here's an opportunity for Bossetti and the Energy to find that elusive insurance goal. This one bending towards that far post, and the Ramirez goes out to pursue it.
Ramirez there, as he has been all match. The goalkeeping has been outstanding from both he and Lorendi.
And Lima acting as though Garcia may have stepped on a finger. And pardon me, I say Lima, obviously clever. Obviously no ill will from Mr. Garcia. We'll get another look.
You see Kleber trying to settle things.
And right there.
And it looked like he lost his footing, and Garcia may have indeed put a stud on a digit, but he begs his pardon.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. Just a digit landing under the boots of Garcia. Of course, Garcia, two-time MLS Cup winner with LA Galaxy in Major League Soccer. And Lorendi will go out for an evening stroll.
Lorendi, a big goalkeeper, moves very well. And one thing is his vision. He's so quick off the line. If there's a ball in the 18, chances are he's going to be the first one to it.
Well, he knew he had the size advantage. That's almost not fair. If you're matched up with Guadarrama, you already have the height, but then the hair gives you an extra few inches on Sonny G.
Soccer, not a game of size. It is a game of skill, and that's the reason the Austin native played 10 years in Mexico, played for teams like Santos Laguna, he played for Dorados of Sinaloa. Very happy to be back representing his home city at the professional level.
All numbers pushing forward, creating congestion, and Sarah Mooten just could not settle that one.
This is better from Austin, getting it out wide, sending a dangerous ball in. Sarah Mooten, since coming on for Isaac, has been very impressive. That's not necessarily the goal scorer, but you want to see better from him in that situation. Austin making another change at the break is Jorge Troncoso, the Chilean, the former Colo Colo youth man, comes on. And he has been fantastic off the bench. He has a great work rate, incredible speed. We'll see if Troncoso's speed can counteract some of that from the Energy.
Yeah, the Chilean makes his 5th appearance on the year now. All but one off the bench as a reserve.
And I like the pairing of he and Andre Lima up top. Lima has the side, Troncoso with the speed, a bit of thunder and lightning.
Kleber right now doing some work, trying to get that ball back. Rare mention of Jermaine Taylor there. 6 years in Major League Soccer for Jermaine with the Dynamo, Timbers, and Minnesota United.
Talk about all the Jamaicans represented. Taylor, 101 appearances for the Reggae Boys. He's the elder statesman, and it doesn't matter what the team is. When those Jamaicans come to town, they're going to go see Jermaine Taylor.
Yeah, with his 3 Caribbean Cup titles. Gordon redirects the efforts. Opportunity building. And perhaps for a moment, thoughts about a brace for Brown.
And a rare misstep from Brown. He looks like he had that one and just took a step over it. This is a beautiful ball again. Gordon playing the distributor. Perfectly weighted ball. Brown all by his lonesome right between 2 defenders. And that is a mistake that you rarely, if ever, see from Deshaun Brown.
Deshaun owes Omar an assist.
He does indeed.
A beautiful pitch here. Our stage tonight for the first ever meeting between Austin and Oklahoma City. You see their marks. A couple of draws this year to go with their 4 victories for OKC. Add it all up, it's 14 points to put them in 5th place in the West. Kleber briefly lost Garcia. What do the Bold have in mind?
And for Austin, it's just taking far too long, the build-up, the development of the play. You contrast that with what you see from OKC. It is quick 1-2 touch passing, finding the open man. And Austin taking so much time on the ball, giving Oklahoma City plenty of time to get in their defensive spots.
McFarland with the throw into the area, but nobody there other than the visiting white jerseys tonight.
You wonder who's going to be the creator for Austin. All these numbers behind the ball for OKC. How does Austin break it down? Do they try to send it over the top? Do they get it out wide and then swing one in?
Energy's done a nice job quieting your typical difference makers for Austin tonight.
It looks like the Energy content to let Austin have possession until they get into that final third.
Lima able to turn. As Cato stays glued to his man.
And just too much one-on-one now from Austin. McFarland tried to do it all by himself, and out of bounds the throw will be with the Energy. Austin have to find a teammate.
Just about 10 minutes in here to the second half. Oklahoma City still riding the high of that opening half goal from Deshaun Brown.
They found the only goal 29 minutes in. Opportunities few and far between for the home side.
And we're going to have a card here. The second on Austin tonight. And again, Sarah Mooten, the first man off the bench this evening, will be the second man in teal and black to pick up a caution.
Sarah Mooten picks up the yellow. He drew a dangerous free kick at the end of the first half. Austin unable to get it over the wall. As you take another look, Brown.
That left boot of his strayed a little bit.
Mentioned the official, he's been consistent. Say what you will, but the whistles have been the same for both sides, and that's all you ask for.
27, Valerie Sarah Mooten.
Well, you can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for the Austin Bold or the OKC Energy, then click the follow button. Keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on the Bold and Energy's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Lincoln Rose, Kip McConico, Ali Trost down on the pitch. Sarah Mooten just picked up his first yellow on the night. He and Sonny G both with yellow cards this evening. And we have not seen Deshaun Brown pop back up to his feet yet.
Not a good sign. Brown still down on the turf, being attended to by the training staff.
Rafael Garcia and Kleber talking about what it's like to not be from Jamaica. Brown, the former UCF Knight in Orlando for his college days. MLS experience with DC United and the Rapids of Colorado. That must have been Portuguese. Well, while Austin has struggled to find a goal, the Energies have not found an important insurance strike. Will that cost them?
And this is what Troncoso brings. Glad to see him out there. He has the speed, a good ball. Just unable to knock it off Williams. He was trying to win the corner, but one of the few bold players who can make a play on a ball like this. Indeed, it did come off Troncoso.
Austin is trying to bounce back from its loss against Los Dos. Bold have never had a losing streak. Oklahoma City is trying to change that.
Austin having already made 2 changes. They made the change in the 34th of Seramutin coming on for Isaac.
Lorendi gave it right back to Austin. Chipped in. And no need for Cody to intervene.
Troncoso came on at halftime for Garcia, and it appears Austin is going to make their third, and you would certainly imagine that would be the case. They've got to get more speed up top. They're going to bring on a local product, Chris Tierpak.
Chris Tierpak, former teammate of Cody Lorendi, as well as Max Gunderson of Oklahoma City when they were all here in Austin with the Aztecs. Tierpak has been well-traveled since then. Swope Park Rangers helped lead them to the postseason. More recently, Miami FC. And so it's one Austin native for another as Sonny Guadarrama will see his Friday evening come to a conclusion.
And the former Dripping Springs Tiger comes on for the former Cedar Park Timberwolf.
For Chris, his 5th appearance this year. Again, last year started with San Antonio, then wrapped up the year with Miami, and then a few extra matches with Nashville. Your former national champion when the Aztecs were in the former PDL. He was your MVP of that league.
He scored some stunning goals, did so with Chivas USA, some absolutely brilliant strikes with San Antonio FC as well. Does he have one in store for tonight? And Aztecs, the former Aztec man, absolutely furious as he was having a word with the referee. Troncoso down in the box, but no whistle.
No official whistle, at least. May have heard one from the stands. Tierpak looking for an instant impact. Equalizer on the board. Chris Tierpak able to dial up Valeri Seramutin.
Tierpak on the pitch for a matter of seconds, not even minutes. And he comes up with a beautiful assist. Ball played in. Seramutin thought he had splayed it, but just able to get back on top of it in time and to sneak it by Lorendi for the equalizer.
You'll watch it unfold. He just wanted it more.
Great stuff, and you see Seramutin losing his footing, but still able to put his left boot to it. Ross calling for the handball, thought it came off the forearm of Seramutin. Referee said otherwise.
Well, it's your 3rd sub of the night, dialing up the OG, the man who came on in the first half. And there will be no clean sheet tonight for the Energy.
The response Austin needed. Tierpak in front of his hometown fans. Brilliant off the bench. Now we'll see if Austin can find themselves with the go-ahead goal.
Austin has another half hour to avoid injury. Again, they have no substitutes remaining, but 2 of them have already paid off. First goal of the year with the Bold for Sarah Mooten. Different mindset now. I talked about Oklahoma City never finding that insurance goal. Now it's Austin, the aggressors.
And how big was that the Energy couldn't find that 2-0 lead? They had opportunities, some big saves from Ramirez, the miscues from the Energy forwards. But if you give a team enough time to hang around, especially one as talented as Austin, they will find a way back in, and that is exactly what the Bold have done.
Trademark look for Chris Tierpak after his time at Dripping Springs High School down the road. Would play Division I soccer at Houston Baptist. Not a lot of D1 men's soccer opportunities in Texas. You have SMU and HBU. Now Incarnate Word in San Antonio as well.
Considering all the talent in the Lone Star State, just 3 men's Division I collegiate programs. Hope that that'll be remedied and quickly get closer to 5 and 10 someday.
Oh, tough shot for Lima.
And Lima trying to shake that one off.
Gordon wants to take advantage. And Ramirez begging, again, his teammates to let him handle it, and he does. You see the numbers, Austin with 3 more shots so far in this low-scoring affair. Each team has found the back of the net on 1 occasion.
The idea was there, but the ball just behind Tierpak. Sarah Mooten again there, able to retain possession for Austin. Great stuff from Valeri Sarah Mooten.
Kleber out wide to Tierpak. Back inside the 6 as Lorendi will punch it out.
That's a smart play by Lorendi. You have a man bearing down on you. You don't think you can come up with it cleanly. Just puts the paw to it and pushes it out of the danger zone.
Lorendi now with his head on a swivel.
Talk about smart plays. Another one here by Austin. The defender right there plays it off Williams, wins the set piece.
So DeMar Phillips will handle this kick. Again, DeMar added late this past April after the season already underway because of his talented left boot. A 2-time champion in Norway. Top of the 6, Energy able to get there first. And Gordon did not want to concede that throw.
Impressive work from Gordon all the way back defending. He is all over the pitch tonight.
Valeri Sarah Mooten with the equalizer. Austin now looking for its first lead.
Optimistic attempt at best, and in that situation you at least have to get your body over to keep your knee on top of the ball or it will simply soar over the crossbar.
It was the first ever equalizer in the young history of this Austin club.
Over towards La Cinco Doce, the official supporters group of the Austin Bold.
Cinco Doce, of course, the area code for most of Austin. Although Austin's starting to outgrow it, they've thrown in 747 as well. Garcia, right down the spine. Ramirez, right place, right time as that ball found him 6 yards off his line.
Ramirez, an easy save for the youngster. Ball right to him. And quite simply, let off the hook. A good ball played in. Cato just got to put that one anywhere else. Put it to one of the sides and you're going to put your side back on top.
I think Brown was volunteering to receive a pass and have a brace. You said it, off the hook.
This match is just turned up exponentially. The intensity, since Austin has found the equalizer, all of a sudden, adrenaline for both teams.
Back out to Alvin Jones. Garcia, who's been a peacekeeper much of tonight. Kleber able to turn.
Good overlapping run by Troncoso.
Looking for Tierpak. Just couldn't wrap his head around that one.
And not quite sure what Chris was trying to do there. A low ball taking a bounce. May have been easier to try to put his boot to it as opposed to the head. That close to the turf, it's going to be, need a lot of English on that pool cue to put it on frame.
I think he wanted that one off the back of the head. Cody Lorendi knows when Tierpak's in the area after their time spent together here in Austin, be ready for anything. That time, no damage done. Kleber, who had the first 2 goals in Austin Bold history.
Oh, beautiful little flick out the back heel from Kleber.
Phillips with Gordon. And it's Omar able to muscle him off the ball.
That just shows what Gordon brings. Has size, strength, speed, the complete player.
And we were first introduced to Gordon, his time with the Indy 11, back in the old NASL, before joining the USL Championship. Last year was San Antonio. Tierpak will center this one to Kleber. And Sarah Mooten sees that one slip away.
Miscommunication, not quite sure who Sarah Mooten wanted that ball to head towards. I don't think he was either. Troncoso was closest to it.
Quiet night for Fabian.
And interestingly enough, Austin having made all 3 substitutions, OKC still with their starting 11.
What will be the priority for Steve Cook? First half goal for OKC. Austin with the answer here in the second half. Throw coming up. Again, these 2 teams will collide twice here in the West, home and home. No more substitutions to be made for Marcelo Serrano tonight. You get to chat with him just about every Monday. And he is an open book.
He is. He is an absolute pleasure to speak with. Every Monday we talk about the previous match over the weekend, the upcoming match. Always enjoyable. Learn about life, learn about soccer.
There's an Austin team that really spent a lot of time together. Remember, their first 2 matches were on the road, Las Vegas and Reno. They did not come home between those 2 weekend features.
That was on purpose. They wanted to stay up there. They trained at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Really hope that would be a bonding week for the team, and it's paid off.
20 minutes still remaining in this clash. Tierpak. Garcia and Kleber. From the edge of the box. Phillips will take this one. Delivery off his left boot. Oh, good placement. Lima just could not get behind it.
Austin looking much better since the goal, as you might imagine, an energized team.
Almost a second bite at the apple. And simply a goal kick after all of that.
And Andre Lima comes up smiling, wondering what he has to do to get that call in the box. A huge collision. Sarah Mooten tried to play a little chip over the top, and you see Lima down, able to bounce back up, and valiant attempt to put a shot on goal.
Yeah, Lima blindsided. Here's your product placement. Again, Diego Restrepo for the first time this season, not your man between the pipes. It has not cost the Bold. Ramirez has done a fine job tonight, and the only ball that got past him, I don't know if I could name any keeper that would absolutely have been able to stop it, as Brown had plenty of time to think about what to do with the ball right in front of a wide open front.
Well, the question for Austin has never been on the defensive end, be it Ramirez or Restrepo in goal, that talented back four. It's who can score goals. Coming into tonight, just 6 goals scored, 4 different players, and hoping that maybe Tierpak, he's going to be that third goal scorer. So far, it's been about Kleber and Andre Lima, but Coach Serrano really trying to find that third proven goal scorer.
Well, fans, be sure to tune in on Wednesday, May 22nd for the ESPN USL Championship Game of the Week on ESPN News. Tierpak able to help find the equalizer. Kleber finds the cheek of Callum Ross. Again, that ESPN USL Championship Game of the Week will feature newcomers Birmingham Legion FC as they host Nashville SC. It'll be the week's best match on the Game of the Week, May 22nd on ESPN News.
And Austin trying to be a little too fine outside of the box. You're seeing these little chips in. They've had chances, and good ones, playing a hard ball from outside the 18, forcing Lorendi, and maybe he allows a rebound, and that's how you're able to come away with a goal.
So much left-footed talent for Austin, including the left boot of Tierpak that helped find the equalizer. And Sarah Mooten found his first goal as a member of the Bold. Will there be another goal in these final 20 minutes? Austin still unbeaten here at home. And a corner kick coming up for the home side.
Troncoso again coming out of that back right position. The speed of the Chilean able to win the corner. A good ball played in space, and Jorge Troncoso just like lightning comes out of nowhere, able to get to it. Sarah Mooten plays the distributor. You see number 2 coming out of nowhere, able to beat Gordon to it for the corner.
Service sent in. Williams the first to get ahead on it, then Lorendi. That ball spills loose. Chance for Austin. It's Lima. And a team save called. Austin wants a handball, but that will not prevail. So much to go through, but the Energy not in the clear until now.
Incredible. Lorendi off his line, lost it. Lima had it measured. The big Brazilian was going to tuck it underneath the crossbar. Lima collides with Williams, couldn't push it out. Lima backwards and over the head of the defender, never crossed the goal line.
Well, it's tough to see there, but what I think Austin wanted was Callum Ross with his right arm deflecting that ball, and now Kleber's going to get a yellow for dissent.
It appeared that it was Brown, Deshaun Brown, who was ultimately able to clear it off the line. And what a turn.
Austin thought they had earned themselves a penalty opportunity.
Lima continues to plead his case.
It'll be a team save, a critical one at that for OKC. Another look right here. This is clean, off the crossbar.
Oh, you see it off the fingertips of Brown. The ball did not cross the goal line. It must entirely eclipse the line, but it certainly appeared from that vantage point that it did find the fingernail of Deshaun Brown.
And a foul one here by Austin.
A new life for OKC. Austin frustration
It was, again, all because of a miscue. Lorendi and his own man getting tangled up.
That's the only miscue we've seen the entire match from Cody Lorendi. Aside from that, he's been outstanding.
Kleber just picked up a yellow wearing that captain's armband tonight.
And that's a yellow for dissent.
Measure this one well. Lorendi, not a strong sense of where that frame was. Corner kick coming up for Austin. Where was this Austin team in the opening half?
That's the question. Dangerous ball. Lorendi does the smart thing, just presses it over and out for the corner.
It was smooth sailing for the Energy most of the first half. Some key substitutions made for Austin. Phillips sends it in. Ball right back will go wide as Okugo trying to factor in.
Amobi found a gift, but a wall of black and white shirts between he and the goal line. Lorendi able to get a fist to it, but you have to punch that one up and away.
And there is the penalty. Austin will have a chance to take a lead from 12 yards out. It's the first penalty opportunity conceded this year.
After so many chances, you see all the Austin players looking back at our referee, and finally the whistle blows and a chance to take the lead from the spot. It looked like that was Callum Ross.
Oh yeah.
And Ross indeed, the Englishman, got a hand to it.
Like an outside hitter in volleyball playing the pin. Well, here's Cody Lorendi. His opportunity to be a hero. You don't envy any goalkeeper stuck in this situation. Kleber, 2 goals this year. Stares down your goalkeeper for the Puerto Rican national team. A little over 10 minutes to go. We are level, 1 goal apiece. Austin has found its first ever equalizer tonight for the young franchise. Kleber slops it home.
Calm, cool, collected, sent Lorendi the wrong way. The Gladiator slowly rolls it in to put the Bold on top.
Well, undoubtedly, Energy and their fans sick to their stomach.
That is a man who has scored a lot of goals and a lot from the spot. No nerves there on the part of Kleber. Just stepped up, knew exactly what he wanted to do, and was able to send the goalkeeper the wrong way. And it's absolutely stunning from Kleber.
The Bold thought they had won a penalty earlier this half. It comes to fruition a little later on. And Kleber, with his 3rd goal on the year, now once again your leader for Austin.
And so often you see guys step to the spot, they want to rip it. They want to take the net off the frame. They elect to go high. They want to tuck it underneath the crossbar, and a lesson there from Kleber.
And for the first time in Juan David Ramirez's young career as goalkeeper for the Bold, he has a lead to defend with this back line. Gordon lost his footing.
But make no mistake about it, Ramirez, he is going to have a difficult final 10 minutes of this match. He will certainly face some shots. He's going to have to come up with some saves for his first win as a Bold goalkeeper.
2 second-half goals for Austin. Sarah Mooten and Kleber on the PK. Cato sends it in.
No mistake from Ramirez. He's able to squeeze it right between the gloves.
6'1", back in that frame. Sure-handed.
For Austin, you don't want to park the bus quite yet. continue to get numbers forward, not committing everyone up the pitch, obviously with a 1-goal lead.
Well, mind you, there will be no defensive substitutions made from here on out for Austin. They have no subs. And foul here against Phillips. Quick restart for the Energy.
Conversely, the Energy still all 3 subs remaining should they so choose to use them.
Omar Gordon's always a fun one to watch. Has not disappointed tonight. Just think about that second ball he gave to Brown that Brown could never get a shot on frame with.
It was an absolutely beautiful ball. He wrapped it between the final 2 defenders. He angled it perfectly. The weight was just where you want it, right at the top of the 18. And Brown, uncharacteristically, just overran it.
Ramirez, again, I mentioned 22 years old. When he's older, he'll learn to find a better blade of grass to put that ball on when you're leading 2-1. Tap back to Lorendi. It was a dominant performance in the first half by Gordon and the Energy. Austin needs to be careful.
Austin does indeed need to be careful, and they have to get numbers back behind the ball quicker. Too many men spending time in that middle third when the Energy have it. This is the time you have to sell out, get back on defense.
Well, we've seen several young soccer fans, members of various local youth academies, and it's just a reminder that the USL unveiled its elite youth program, the USL Academy. It allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, if you missed out, you can visit uslsoccer.com/academy. That one from 23 yards out.
Rafael Garcia had it measured just over the crossbar.
First substitution coming up for Coach Cook in the Energy.
Substitution, OKC Energy.
Ross will come off.
Entering the game, Javon Watson.
In his place, it'll be the debut for the Energy for Javon Watson, sporting the number 23 on his kit.
Watson from guess where? Another Jamaican finds himself on. An impressive player, a very good midfielder, a true two-way midfielder. Offense, defense, does it all in the middle of the park and taking the place of Ross. It's been a tough game for Callum Ross. He conceded that final penalty to put Austin ahead.
That was Mike DeFonte climbing the back of Lima. I don't think planking is still a thing.
Let's hope not.
And a Garcia on Garcia chat going on now. Our official Elton chatting with Rafael.
Good work there. Atiba Harris, the elder statesman, the captain, the veteran. He tried to pull his man away, and now Brown will do everything he can to get Garcia away. Nothing good ever comes from speaking with the referee.
Now I'll go to bat for Rafael. Much of tonight, Elton Garcia's job's been a little bit easier because the Rafael's been a peacekeeper a lot of the evening with Austin.
He has indeed.
He has helped cooler heads prevail whenever possible. But it's easier to do that when you're up a goal. It's been Austin with 2 unanswered here in the second half. Brown would have loved to have that touch about 40 yards farther down the pitch. Kleber. That's just going to chew up some time. Oh, what a different match this has become.
Give Austin a ton of credit, a team that's used to being ahead. They've come from behind in this match. Went down early in the 29th minute to Sean Brown, the assist from Omar Gordon. 2 second-half goals put the Bold on top.
The aforementioned Gordon here. Now all of a sudden it seemed, and there's a handball from Omar. I was gonna say now it seems like there's more home kits than visiting kits. as Austin swarming to every ball.
The ebbs and flows of the match in the first half, certainly in the final 20 minutes of that first half, it was all Oklahoma City. They were absolutely finding every 50-50 ball. Just great intensity from the Energy.
Ramirez 30 yards off his line. It's a second half where Oklahoma City has only found one shot. During that same span, the Bold have sent 2 past Lorendi. Neither one of which you can really pin on your man in frame tonight in all red.
The goalkeepers, Ramirez and Lorendi, both have done their job.
Oklahoma City's been racking up the points. You look over the last 3 matches, 2 wins and a draw. Austin looking for insurance as opposed to taking it to the corner.
That's the speed of Troncoso. Few players for the Bold would be able to get to that ball, but Jorge Troncoso, as he has been since coming on as a substitute, able to beat Williams to it, but just too much as he put it across the top of the 6 looking for Tierpak.
Question is, how much stoppage time will there be? This clock's starting to move a little too quickly for Oklahoma City's liking. Not fast enough for Austin, but Austin will get the benefit of a foul call here.
I'm about to say that was a poor giveaway by Baez, and Austin fortunate that the whistle blew.
Javier had passed several years in Liga MX.
And won the CONCACAF Champions League as a member of Cruz Azul, Máquina Cementera. Mentioned all his time with the Giants of Jalisco, there Chivas of Guadalajara.
Taylor.
Lima doing the smart thing, taking it to the corner, taking precious seconds off.
It is a goal kick. Ball back to Lorendi with some urgency. Fans in Austin have not seen their team fall at home. The worst has been settling for a draw with El Paso, part of the Copa Tejas, where Austin, right now your leader with 1 win, 1 draw, unbeaten in that rivalry. That said, Austin is closer to Oklahoma City, I believe, than they are El Paso.
Oh, I think that's safe to say. Probably closer to Tulsa than they are to El Paso.
How about Jamaica?
In spirit only.
As this one's going to make its way into touch. Well, when Tierpak was put on the pitch, he was able to match the, forgive me, but energy of Oklahoma City.
He came on in the 59th minute, found a goal in the 61st.
Still time for an equalizer for the visiting side. With all the substitutions, we know there will be additional time here. And that one does go in touch. DeMar was going to play until the whistle. And there will be no fewer than 5 minutes. Will that be enough for Oklahoma City?
This is a big break for the Energy. I figured there would be at least 4, but 5 minutes. All kinds of time to find an equalizer.
Some of that may have been Rafael Garcia having the chat with Elton Garcia.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 5 minutes of added time.
Ramirez trying to read the bounce. Open frame. Stepping in. Your hero for the moment, Okugo.
What a job from Amobi. The goal-saving clearance off the line. Ramirez out of the box. And Amobi there to clear it away.
Well, the Energy get another sniff. "18 yards out. And simply a goal kick coming up for Ramirez.
Brown wheeling around Couldn't decide if he wanted to take the shot, as there were two defenders in front of him, but eventually elected to lay it off.
Another look at Okugo here.
Harris put it in to a dangerous area. Moby able to get to it first.
Still over 3 minutes to go. Gordon,
who has not lost a step.
looking to work that magic again. Flag stays down, ball sent in. And so many times, Austin fans forced to hold their breath. That time, Brown again in the area, so close.
Deshaun Brown, that is a goal that he scores 9 times out of 10. At the top of the 6, spins around, and just unable to put it on the goal of Ramirez. Gordon couldn't believe it.
Deshaun Brown. Again, your lone goal tonight for Oklahoma City.
One thing we've seen from this week, and I know all these gentlemen will watch the Champions League matches on Tuesday and Wednesday. They will play until the final whistle blows, and you can score a goal in that last second.
Tierpak, this is where it all started.
What a job. Tierpak wins the free kick right at the line. Knew the contact was coming. Outstanding stuff from the Austin native since coming off the bench.
As Garcia commits the foul. In field hockey, we would call this a short corner. Let's see if Austin can find that insurance goal and make it 3 unanswered here in the second half.
Austin trying to figure out who the third part of that triangle is going to be, along with those two men, Kleber and Andre Lima. May it be Chris Tierpak. Certainly has aced his audition tonight.
And I think at this point they are now less concerned with the insurance goal as opposed to just keeping that clock ticking. Alvin Jones does everything he can to track down a ball for Austin to play with so they can resume. At least a minute still to go. But Energy need this ball at their feet. Gordon through traffic. Will Ramirez be asked to make one final save tonight to hang on to the 3 points? No time to protest. And back over to Oklahoma City. A narrowing window for a comeback here for OKC.
Austin just needs to put boot to ball and clear this one out.
An offside flag is up. Lorendi will bring it back up to the mark. Everybody in the world showing off their wristwatch. And Elton Garcia agrees. The full 90 complete. And for the first time in the club's young history, the Austin Bold have a comeback win for a full 3 points. And yes, they still remain unbeaten here at home.
What a job by Austin, showing off their tenacity, conceding the first goal, then coming from behind 2 goals in the second 45 minutes, a well-deserved victory to stay unbeaten at home.
Well, an entertaining full 90. The opening half dominated by your visiting side, but huge substitutions for Austin. Will be back with their comments.
Austin Bold fans, don't forget to cheer on your Bold in our first U.S. Open Cup game with $2 beer next Tuesday, May 14th against the Tulsa Roughnecks at Bold Stadium. To purchase tickets, please call 512-872-8700 or visit austinboldfc.com. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, inclement weather is on the way in the area. We ask you to please make your way safely to your vehicles. We thank you for your cooperation. Again, our autograph session will not be held tonight due to inclement weather.
Austin Bold find 2 goals in the second half after a commanding opening 45 minutes belonged to Oklahoma City. The excitement this year for the Bold is the return of pro soccer to Austin and a chance to feature even some local talent, including Chris Tierpak, a super sub there in the second half. He's with Ali Trost.
They're going to come down to us in a second.
All right.
All right, Chris, an exciting win here tonight. Trailing for the majority of the game, but to come back with 2 second-half goals in front of these fans. What does that say about the perseverance of this team?
I mean, we showed a lot of fight today. I mean, we've been working all week. We didn't get the result we wanted last week, but we battled all week in training, and I think the results show today. We came back and fought hard for 90 minutes.
This team now extends their unbeaten streak at home to 5 games. What does it mean to do that in front of these fans here tonight?
It's huge. I mean, it gives them a little reward for, coming out here and cheering for us. I mean, we're resilient at home. We want to keep it that way. We want to stay undefeated all year at home, and right now I think we're in a good stretch at home.
You're looking ahead to a really exciting Tuesday night matchup against Tulsa for the Open Cup. How do you guys carry this momentum into that game?
Just got to recover properly. We have a couple days before the game. We got to get all the recovery in we can these next 2 days and show up like we did today. And, hopefully start off better than the first half.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Great game.
You're welcome.
Ali, thank you. As a night of first, the first ever comeback win for Austin. Juan David Ramirez makes his debut in goal, leading the Bold to victory, just conceding the 1 goal along the way. As Chris Tierpak able to dial up Sarah Mooten, as Kleber would find the goal off the spot, and it's the Bold capturing the 3 points tonight. For Kip McConico and Ali Trost and our entire crew, I'm Lincoln Rose. The Bold victorious again at home, where they remain unbeaten here in the capital city.